Yo, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to call in sick in Chinese. No one wants to get sick, but we can't deny the fact that everyone gets sick once in a while, no matter how hard he or she tries to stay healthy. Well, if you happen to be the rare kind of humans that doesn't get sick, then at least you can learn what to say to someone in sick. Here's the scenario of today's conversation. Reina is not feeling well when she gets up in the morning. She's having a sore throat and a little cough. She thinks she might be having a cold, so she calls her manager to ask for a sick leave. Now, let's take a look at the full conversation without the English caption. Listen carefully and try to guess what they say. No worries, I'm going to explain the dialogues afterwards.
喂，
喂，经理，我是雷娜。
怎么了，雷娜？
我不太舒服，想请假一天。
你没事吧？
我好像感冒了，我的喉咙很痛，有点咳嗽。
你有没有去看医生？
还没，我下午去。
好的，好好休息，早日康复。
好的，谢谢经理。Can you follow a little bit what they say? I suggested you not to use the caption because it would be a distraction. You won't be paying enough attention when you are busy reading the caption. When learning a language, listening is the first thing you do. Only after listening can you imitate the speaker and practice your speaking. Now, let's get back to the dialogues. First of all, how to say hello on the phone in Chinese. It's easy. Just say 喂. It's like hello in French, สวัสดีค่ะ in Thai, and もしもし in Japanese. And that's all I know. Maybe you can teach me some more. So in Chinese, you say 喂 when picking up a phone call. And the caller can also respond it with 喂. That's easy, isn't it? Normally, the word 喂 is pronounced as the fourth tone, 喂. But when it is used to greet people on the phone, the tone is raised and turned into a second tone, 喂.
喂，
喂，经理，我是雷娜。经理 Manager. Chinese people tend to address others by their titles to show respect. They call a teacher 老师 rather than a Mr. or a Miss. To greet a manager, they would say 经理好 and to a teacher 老师好. Since there could be more than one manager or teacher, to be more specific, you may add their last name after their titles like 王经理 or 王老师 for a manager or a teacher with the last name Wang. After greeting her manager by saying 喂经理, Reina says 我是雷娜 to introduce herself. We've talked about how to introduce yourself in our previous episode, how to handle a job interview. Now let's continue.
怎么了，雷娜？
我不太舒服，想请假一天。怎么了 means what's the matter or what's wrong. I will tell you more about this phrase later. 我不太舒服 I'm not feeling very well. 舒服 could mean well or comfortable. 不舒服 means feeling unwell or feeling uncomfortable. Here are 3 ways to say how bad you feel. 我有点不舒服。有点 or 有点 means a little bit. 我不太舒服 Using 不太 before an adjective means not very, like 不太好 not very good or not very well. 我很不舒服很 means very or very much. When someone says 我很不舒服 he or she is possibly in great pain. You probably need to call for help. Let's repeat these sentences again. 我有点不舒服。I'm feeling a little bit unwell. 我不太舒服。I'm not feeling very well. 我很不舒服。I'm feeling really unwell. 我不太舒服，想请假一天。请假 to take a leave or to ask for a leave. To be more specific, you can say 请病假 to ask for or to take a sick leave. 请假一天 to take a day off. 我想请假一天 I would like to take a day off. The subject of the sentence in this dialogue is eliminated because it has been mentioned in the previous sentence. 我不太舒服。
你没事吧？
我好像感冒了，我的喉咙很痛，有点咳嗽。你没事吧？ Are you okay? Earlier we talked about 怎么了 What's the matter? 怎么了 and 你没事吧 They're both very useful phrases. 怎么了 can be used in many situations. When you see someone not looking very well, you can say 你怎么了 or 你没事吧 When someone asks you something and you wonder why he or she is asking, you can also say 怎么了 For example, when someone asks 你今晚有空吗 Are you available tonight? You may say 有啊，怎么了 Yeah, why? 我好像感冒了 I feel like I'm having a cold. 感冒 could be a cold or a flu. If you want to specify that it's a flu, you can say 流行感冒 or more commonly simply 流感 because in Chinese, 流感 is also a kind of 感冒. 流行 is popular, so a popular cold is a flu, 流感。我感冒了 I've got a cold. Do you remember how to use 了 We also talked about this in the second episode of how to handle a job interview. It is used to indicate the change of state or a new situation. 好像 to look like, to seem like, or to feel like. 我好像感冒了 means I feel like I'm having a cold. 我的喉咙很痛 I have a sore throat. 喉咙 throat 痛 could be a verb to hurt or an adjective painful. 我的喉咙很痛 literally means my throat hurts. 有点咳嗽 We talked about 咳嗽 cough in the previous episode. It is one of the major symptoms of the novel coronavirus. The Chinese of the word symptom is 症状 Symptoms of a cold 感冒的症状 include 喉咙痛、咳嗽 and 发烧。我有点咳嗽 I have a little cough. As we just said, 有点 means a little. But what is Here is a retroflex final that follows certain phrases with no special meaning. It is mostly used by people from northern China, especially in Beijing or Tianjin. Common phrases with retroflex final include 有点没事等会 It's not easy to pronounce and is not so common in certain regions of southern China. In Taiwan or other Chinese-speaking countries, we don't really use as retroflex final, so it's okay if you can't pronounce it properly.
你有没有去看医生？
还没，我下午去。你有没有去看医生 Have you seen a doctor? 医生 Doctor 看医生 See a doctor. That's right. 看 is to see or to watch. 去看医生 is same as 看医生 Just like to go see a doctor in English. Similar to 去看电影 and 看电影有没有 is used in questions of do you have or have you 有 to have 没有 not to have Combination of the two words become a phrase used in questions. Last time we talked about using 要不要 before a verb to make an offer, meaning do you want to do something? It is also combined by two words 要 and 不要. A question using 要不要 is asking about plans or desires for something in the future. A question using 有没有 followed by a noun is asking the current state of possession, meaning do you have, like 你有没有男朋友? Do you have a boyfriend? Well, I'm not telling you. When followed by a verb, 有没有 is similar to the use of perfect tense in English. It could be translated into have you or did you. 你有没有去看医生 means have you seen a doctor? To answer a question using 有没有, you can say 有 or 没有. Here, Reina says 还没, not yet, meaning that she is planning to go to a doctor. 我下午去. I'll go in the afternoon. In Chinese, an adverb of time goes before a verb in a sentence.
好的，好好休息，早日康复。
好的，谢谢经理。好的 is a very useful phrase. It can mean okay, very well, or alright. Here, knowing Reina will go to a doctor, the manager says 好的, meaning alright, and also implying her approval of Reina's sick leave. 好好休息 rest well. 休息 to rest. 早日康复 is a formal phrase meaning get well soon. These are two phrases that you can say to a friend in sick. And Reina responds to her manager 好的. Here it means okay, I will. 谢谢经理 Thank you, manager. Here, using 经理 to address the manager instead of you, 你, is also a way to show respect. Now, let's watch the full conversation again. Try repeating what they say this time.
喂，
喂，经理，我是雷娜。
怎么了，雷娜？
我不太舒服，想请假一天。
你没事吧？
我好像感冒了，我的喉咙很痛，有点咳嗽。
你有没有去看医生？
还没，我下午去。
好的，好好休息，早日康复。
好的，谢谢经理。Now I have a quiz for you. 我的喉咙很痛。In this dialogue, which of the following is most likely the question being asked? A. 你有没有去看医生 B. 你怎么了 Let me know in the comments your answer for the question. I'd also like to know how you feel about our lessons. I would really appreciate it if you can let me know your Chinese Mandarin level and how hard do you think our lesson is. Is it too hard or is it too easy? That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a like if you did. Here are some greeting words for today. 祝大家身体健康，万事如意。May you have a good health and everything goes well. Subscribe our channel and turn on the notification. I'm Reina from Mandarin Max.